Did everybody join or someone are waiting? Is my voice clear to everybody? Hello everyone, can you hear me and see the screen?
Yes.
In the last class, we discussed about break and continue statements and switch case. In switch case, I have covered all the scenarios, but when one scenario is pending, I want to tell you that also. We have seen this program. 1 second, I'm going to share the screen. Can you all see the program code now? Everyone, can you see the program code now?
Yes, Vivek, yes.
Yeah, okay. In case we have, in switch case, if you observe, we have written a single character. On the last class, we have executed this one. It worked fine. In the case of W, we have written small w and capital W. Either the user may input anything, either it is a capital letter or smaller case. But here I want to show you one more thing. For Thursday, we have written H because for Tuesday we have assigned T. The case values are shouldn't be duplicate. So we have assigned T here. But I want to assign, for Tuesday I want to write TUE, 3 letters. For Thursday I'm going to write THU to make it more clear. Will this work or not? Let us check. For everything I'm putting 3 letters. So what do you think the output will be? Everyone, you can answer. What happens when we put more than one character in the case? In the case label, what happens? Can you see the output screen? See, we are getting lot of errors. It is saying us, the warning is, I'm highlighting in the output screen, observe it. Case label value exceeds maximum value for type. We are getting error like multi-character constant. For everything, we are getting, we have 6 case labels. So we have got those 6 errors here. Multi-character constant. That means the case label is expecting only single character. Did you observe that? Can you see the screen which I have highlighted?
Yes.
Yeah. So in switch case, we can only use in the case label. I'm highlighting in the program code. Once observe, we can only use single character or single digit. At the bottom, I'm writing one more case 0 or case 1. When if we use integer type of data in this program, we are handling with character type of data. If we use integer data, we can even write only single digit. We cannot write combination of digits. Even we can write 10, 11, 12. It is okay, but we cannot write 11 comma 12. They are not accepted. Only single data type, that too with if it is in the case of characters, we cannot write strings. Only one single character is allowed in the switch case. This is the important concept I have missed in the last class. Now I have covered this. So this is the error, multi-character constant error. Remember this error. If you may ask this, you may get this question in the future, like when you attempt online exams. And label values exceeds maximum value for the type. So this is what I want to show you. Now let's continue with the concept of today's class. Are you clear with this string concept in switch case? Everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is still clear.
Yeah, fine. I'm going to share the text document. So we have discussed about arrays. Then we have started the strings. We have seen how to declare statically different types. The static declaration. Then we have seen this also. Today some of new participants have joined. Strings, how to scan a string until a new line. I have explained this. You can see the code on screen and the explanation also. You can take the screenshot and you can try it in your laptop or PC, and you can ask me doubt if you have any doubt. I'll show you the program code. I'm sharing that screen. This is a program code to scan a complete sentence until a new line. You can take a screenshot of it and you can execute it. You will just have a doubt here in the scanf. I'll explain you briefly now for those who have joined today newly. This %n is used to scan the data till the end of the line until it encounters a new character. I have written the explanation here. I want to show you that. See, you can see the text document. It reads until it reaches the end of the line. %n. That is the use of it. We have included it in the scanf. And %c, what it does is we have read until the last line. That means it has read the character /n. So we want to discard this /n. In order to discard it from the data which has been stored in the variable, we will use this %c. So once you execute this, and let me know if you have any doubts. Okay, let's continue with today's topic. I want to continue with the strings. In the last class I have only introduced with, but the main concept in the strings are, you know, the different type of declarations Once again, I'm showing you on the screen. So these are the 4 types of declaration. And I have shown you the dynamic runtime reading also yesterday. Let me check if anyone are waiting. Okay. The new Today we are going to see continuation of the strings. In that the main point is we cannot assign values once the arrays or strings are declared. That is, with example, if I declare a character variable, some C of 40, you have seen different types of allocations here. So I'm not allocating any type of values there statically. But if I write like this, I hope I have shown you this also. But once again, observe this. I'm writing C is equal to some value. This gives us an error. Either it may be character type of array or integer type of array, whatever array or strings it may be. This will not be accepted in the programmatical approach because we cannot assign the values to a variable because this C is not a single type variable, it is a derived type variable. As we have already discussed, strings are not primary data type, it's a derived data type. We can assign only the values like this, statically or dynamically using. I'm going to share the screen here. Yeah. We will ask the user to enter a message and we will read using for loop. Here we have seen, I'm highlighting the for loop. We can scan the elements using a for loop, but we cannot assign directly. That point you have to remember. And we did not discuss the concept of functions, but I will just introduce you with the functions because I want to show you an example of functions in the strings, like how to pass the parameter of a string to another function. We have 4 types of functions. If anyone cannot see the screen what I'm typing, just let me know. We have function with return type and with parameters. And function with no return type, but with parameters. and the function with no return type and with no parameters. And the last one is function with return type but without parameters. So these are the different cases we deal with the functions. I want to take one example and show you with the program. I'm going to write the program code now. Can you all see the program code?
Yes, Vivek.
So when we use functions, every function has a prototype. The prototype looks like here, you can observe. Let me consider a function with no return type, that is void. And the function name is some function string. But I'm taking the parameter. The parameter type is character data type, as we are dealing with the strings. So this is a prototype of a function. We have written the function name, and this is a signature of a function. We have declared the data type. This is the identifier. The variable name is identifier and its return type is void. This is optional. To mention, it is not mandatory to mention every time the prototype of a function. It's optional. When it becomes optional is if we write the body of a function as global. This is a global section, as you all know. The part which is above the main program is a global section. If we write the function code, I mean the definition of the body in the global section, then this prototype is optional. If you want to write after the main function, then it is mandatory to mention the prototype of a function here. So I have already mentioned the prototype, so I can write after the main function. So in the main function, I'm going to take this code which we have already written. So I have declared the character variable with the size of 50. I'm going to ask the user to enter a text. For your more understanding, I'm going to modify the message here. Your message inside main function is. This will be your message inside the main function. Now I'm going to write the function definition for which here you have to take the variable like this. Sname of, I have mentioned square bracket because we are not taking a single character here. We are passing the entire string. So after printing this message, I want to call this function. As you have already studied, you know what is calling function and what is called function. This main function, first I will write this statement, then after I will explain you. I'm going to pass the parameter as the variable name. So this is a parameter. Now I'm calling the function here. This is calling a function. So this will become a called function. We consider int main. Main is also a function. This is calling a function named fun string, function string. That is a function name. So int main becomes calling function, and the function I am going to write, this is the user defined function. It is called as called function. Is there any doubt between the call function and calling function? In the similar way, I'm going to print the message. Your message inside function string is. I'm going to save that in the variable name s name. So I have to use that while printing. Let's execute this and check. We have got some errors. Observe these errors. When you understand the errors, then you can improve your debugging skills. Try to read the errors on the screen you have, what you can see. Can you all see the errors? Yes. At the line 2, previous declaration of function string was here. Here we have to declare, we have to mention it is an array. And while passing, only variable name is enough. Now let us check the output. The errors are cleared. So what we have missed, when we declare the prototype, only identifier name is not sufficient. That is, variable name is not sufficient. We have to mention it is an type of array. That is, a string is nothing but sequence of characters ending with null character, isn't it? So it is a type of an character array. String is nothing but a character array. So we have to mention array type in the line 2, which I am highlighting. Then while passing, you just be clear with these things what I'm telling now. When we are passing, you can pass with the variable name. C is the variable name which is holding character data. It's a type of array, but don't confuse that we have to put square brackets here. While passing to a function, only variable name is sufficient to pass as a parameter. But when you take in the function లో తీసుకుంటప్పుడు మాత్రం you need to mention that array. You are taking an array. So be clear with this. Now it is asking us to enter a text. See, now you can see that I'm highlighting the output. Enter a text. We have entered welcome everyone to strings. Your message inside main function is the same output what we have entered in the input, and inside the function also the same. You can see the different message here. Your message inside the main function. I'm differentiating the output. Your message inside the function string. This is the way to pass the string as a parameter to a function. I hope you are clear with this. Any doubts, anybody? How to pass a parameter?
Vivek, it's clear.
Yeah. How to pass a parameter as a string? The main confusion comes here. When passing, we have to use only variable name, and when taking in a function, we have to use the array. We have to take it as an array format. No need of, as we are entering it dynamically, no need to mention any size. By default, it will consider the size. And we have many default functions. Those are called string handling functions. I'll just tell you, I will mention you the important functions. You can search them more in the online because we can't discuss everything here. If you have any doubts, just let me know tomorrow. We have, this is a string length function. The topic is string handling functions. The first one is strlen. What it does is, can you all see the screen? What it does is, it just calculates the length of the string. strcpy, it copies one string into another. strcmp, it compares two strings. strcat, it concatenates the two strings. That means it combines two strings. strlwr, it converts the entire characters into lowercase. strupr, it converts all the character into uppercase. And without implementing these functions, we can write the program code for everything. For example, if I pass strlen of, okay, I will directly show you in the program code so that you will get more clarity. I just want to take this example, a simple code. I want to print the length of this string. So I'm going to use the strlen of the string. The variable name is C. For this, to manipulate the string handling functions, we need to include the library. You can see what I'm typing. Hash include string.h. Without including this header file, we cannot perform string handling functions. Either it may be any of the function. So I'm going to execute that. Yeah, strlen, it is returning as long unsigned integer, but our format specifier is percentile d. So it is expecting us, see what I'm highlighting, long unsigned integer. So you can put percentile ld here. So remember these format specifiers. If you use any string handling function like size of operator or strlen, better to specify percentile ld. So now we do not have any error. Did you understand?
Repeat
Yes.
once again, Vivek.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to repeat. Let me complete this. Okay. I'm going to put slash in here. Yeah. Once again I'm highlighting the output. Can you see? Can you all see the output screen? Which I have highlighted. Yeah. The warning is format percentile d expects argument of type integer. Percentile d means what? It expects an integer. అంటే percentile d ఎప్పుడు యూజ్ చేస్తాం మనం? ఒక ఇంటీజర్ ని ప్రింట్ చేసేటప్పుడు. Percentile c for a character, percentile f for a float. Here in the program code I have written strlen of c. C is a variable of type integer, sorry, character array. In that we have a message hello everyone. సో ఐ వాంట్ టు, నేను ఏం చేయాలనుకుంటున్నా, హలో ఎవ్రీవన్ లెంత్ ఎంత ఉంది దాన్ని ప్రింట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నా. లెంత్ అంటే కంపల్సరీ అది ఇంటీజర్ డేటా. లెంత్ అనేది ఎలా ఉంటుంది, క్యారెక్టర్ లాగా ఉండదు కదా, ఇంటీజర్. బట్ వాట్ ఇంటీజర్ ఇట్ ఈస్? లాంగ్ అన్సైన్డ్ ఇంటీజర్. లెంత్ ఎప్పుడైనా నెగిటివ్ ఉంటుందా? లెంత్ -1 -2 ఉంటుందా? ఉండదు కదా. కంపల్సరీ ఐదర్ ద లెంత్ షుడ్ బి 0, అంటే స్ట్రింగ్ అనేది ఎంటీ ఉంటే లెంత్ షుడ్ బి 0 ఆర్ గ్రేటర్ దాన్ 0. So it is an, obviously it is an unsigned integer. In integers, in the first class basics, I have discussed about unsigned integer and signed integer. So when it is more clear, the program should be more clear. The percent, we should not use percentile d here. Percentile ld, I have highlighted in the program code. That indicates that it is specifying an unsigned long int. So that's why the error has been eliminated. And now again, once again, I want to execute. I hope I have cleared your doubt. See, I have.
Vivek, excuse me, Vivek.
Yeah.
Can you come again with that unsigned integer part, please?
Yeah, sure. Before that, you just observe here. I have entered the text message, hey all. There are 6 characters, but my length is 7. Why?
Space
It
include
counts
అవుతుంది.
space.
Yes, space is also a character and the ASCII value of it is 32. So space is not just, it cannot be ignored by the system. It is also a character. So the size of it is 7. And coming to your doubt again, I will once again remove this L. I'm just putting, you observe the 8th line of the program code, printf, I'm putting percentile d. Once again, I'm going to compile the program. We are getting a warning. Percentile d is only for printing integers, but I am printing the length of the message. The length is not negative. అంటే లెంత్ అనేది జనరల్గా నెగిటివ్ ఉండదు కదా, కాబట్టి అది కంపల్సరీ పాజిటివ్ ఇంటీజరే ప్రింట్ చేస్తుంది. పర్సంటైల్ డి అనేది ఏం చేస్తుంది అంటే నెగిటివ్ ఇంటీజర్స్ని ప్రింట్ చేస్తుంది, పాజిటివ్ ఇంటీజర్స్ని ప్రింట్ చేస్తుంది. కానీ ఎస్టీఆర్ లెంత్ అనే ఫంక్షన్ మనకి కంపల్సరీ 0 ఆర్ గ్రేటర్ దాన్ 0 వాల్యూస్ ఇస్తుంది. కాబట్టి అక్కడ మనల్ని పర్సంటైల్ ఎల్డి పెట్టమనేది సజెస్ట్ చేస్తుంది. ఈ ఎర్రర్ నేను క్లియర్ చేయకుండా ఒకసారి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తా, అయినా కానీ వీ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ బికాస్ దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ మ్యాండేటరీ. ఇట్స్ ఎ వార్నింగ్, నాట్ ఎర్రర్. we got the output. But to be more specific, అంటే ఆ వార్నింగ్ ని కూడా మనం క్లియర్ చేయాలి అనుకుంటే పర్సంటేజ్ ఎల్డి వాడతాం. ఎల్డి ఎందుకు అంటే ఫర్ అన్సైన్డ్ ఇంటీజర్. అండ్ ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇక్కడ 8th లైన్ లో డైరెక్ట్ గా నేను str_len of c అని రాశాను కాబట్టి ఆ వార్నింగ్ వచ్చింది. ఇప్పుడు నేను వన్స్ క్లియర్లీ అబ్జర్వ్ వాట్ ఐఎమ్ డూయింగ్. I'm writing one more line, that is I'm taking an integer variable a and I'm assigning the value of integer to this a. Now str length count వస్తుంది కదా, ఆ కౌంట్ అనేది నేను a కి అసైన్ చేస్తున్నా. a is an integer variable. Now see, we do not get that warning also. I hope so. I'm not putting any percentage ld. Observe. Now I'm going to execute. Sorry, once again I'm going to compile my program. See, no errors. Why? Did you get this point, everybody? I'm going to repeat once again.
It's not taking the negative values, right?
It's not about negative now. 8th line ఒకసారి అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి. str length of c ని నేను ఒక ఇంటీజర్ వేరియబుల్ కి అసైన్ చేసిన. ఇప్పుడు కెన్ యూ ఆల్ సీ దట్ హైలైటెడ్ లైన్?
Yes, yes, Vivek.
ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, str length of c అనేది ఒక కొత్త ఇంటీజర్ వేరియబుల్ కి అసైన్ చేసిన. సో ఇంటీజర్ వేరియబుల్ యొక్క క్వాలిటీ ఏంటి? అది జస్ట్ పర్సెంటేజ్ d ని